Hey,
Hey.
happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Welcome in.
Happy day after Audacity Day.
Audacity Day.
Yes, woo! It's Audacity Day after.
Listen, I whip this book out quicker than I do my ID. They be like, I wrote a book and it's hardcover. I don't know,
Yes,
it's something about a hardcover book that make it so like,
like
I don't
official.
know. hmm
She's so pretty. She's so pretty. But
Yes,
yeah,
she is. Beautiful. So everybody, welcome. Welcome to the Hustle and Shine podcast. I'm your co-host, Tiffany, one underscore true Phoenix.
and I am Queen Pen Natima Cherie. I said that backwards, but y'all know who I am. Y'all know.
Listen, we're just so excited. This is what giddiness looks like in grown women, right?
Yeah.
Remember a couple of years ago they were talking about men frolicking? Like this is giddiness in a girl.
That's exactly what this is. This is like pure joy and it's audacity. Like that's really the only word. I know people feel like that word is done to death and they kind of sick and tired of us using it, but
No, never.
it really is the audacity to be joyful and happy and feeling really good about what we've accomplished and what we've
hmm
done. Like it's just the best feeling. It really is. It's super dope.
It
I love
really is.
it is. It is. It is. I haven't been able to stop smiling in like 2 days. Like my cheeks have been really painful. So yeah, yeah. But of
Okay,
course,
so
I was gonna say before we get started,
right. Before we get started, y'all know what time it is, right? It is time for y'all to go and like, share, comment, subscribe, and start tagging people who need to come into the room, be in the space with us today. We are talking about people, individuals who are audaciously taking up space, unapologetically, boldly living in their purpose, and not afraid to do so.
yeah.
So yes, we're gonna chop it up a little bit more while y'all start getting the people to come on in here, come on in here, come on in here. As you come in, please drop some diamonds, some hearts, and all the little emojicons, so that we know that you're here and that you are ready to be part of this conversation with us. Um,
Yes.
I want to also start off by saying, my beautiful little cousin here, right? Y'all know how everybody calls their longtime friend, cousin, or whatever. Somehow, the team and I are actually cousins. We grew up together and all that other stuff. There is no blood between us, but you can't tell me that's not my blood cousin, right? I'll fight you for her, right? And won't apologize for it. But she is just such a dope and amazing woman. And I'm always reminded of the day, 5 years ago when she hit me up and was like, hey, I'm having this meeting with this group of women. We're gonna write a book. You wanna come join my meeting? And it seemed like she was asking me as if I was gonna say no. Like, girl, get out of here with your crazy self. Like, and I was like, of course I will be there. And now here we are, 5 years later, 5 books in, um, helping to get, I'm gonna say, over 25 plus women published either as a diamond writer independently under TGI. You are such a phenomenal and dope woman. So I just wanted to give you some verbal flowers this evening before we kicked off the rest of our conversation.
Oh, don't make me cry. I so appreciate it, Cuzzo. And I was literally. This is sincere. This is not like pseudo reciprocity. But I was literally backstage telling the Phoenix how much I appreciate her and how I would not have been able to build and sustain this community and this collective without her. You are not just a staple and a leader, but you truly are one of the greatest champions for God's work that I've ever been blessed with. I have a lot of people that love what I'm called to do and they're excited to support it from an external facing standpoint, but you are behind the scenes with me. You are laboring with me, praying for these women, coming up with concepts, leading meetings. Like, you truly serve. And that is the heart of who we are, is women serve other women. So thank you for everything that you have done for me and the community. Like, you. Yeah.
Of course, yes.
Well,
So we got some people coming into the chat, and I see the numbers
okay.
increasing there. So we're gonna move forward with the episode. Audaciously taking up space. This is the last episode in our 5-part series on Audacity, leading into the release of Audacity.
Look, can y'all
Um,
see my necklace? It say Audacity.
okay, I got a story to tell, right?
Okay.
We've been knew what the title of the book was, right? We've been talking about getting custom jewelry, right? And then, so
Yeah.
I did. I went out and ordered my custom jewelry. Look, see, my earrings say Phoenix. My nameplate.
Okay.
My nameplate say Phoenix. Let me tell you about this nameplate. Remember the Digital Underground song, All Around the World? Same song. Okay, my nameplate
Same.
went all
It.
around the world, right? I intentionally am supporting Black and minority owned businesses, and if it is a woman, I'm even more for it, right? I ordered my little necklace. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it, right? When I got the
Uh-huh.
notification that the necklace was ready to be shipped, it said it was shipping from Jamaica, Queens. That right there, Jamaica, Queens. It was coming to Brooklyn. Why the next delivery notification? Because it was being tracked. Said it was in Los Angeles, California. I was waiting.
Wait, what?
My necklace shipped
What kind
from
of geo?
Jamaica, Queens to Los Angeles, California. Came back to Brooklyn. Went out for delivery. Meanwhile, the address it was being delivered to is 2 blocks from the post office. The main post office in Brooklyn, Cadman Plaza. I work 2 blocks from there. It went out for delivery and then went back to the and went back out the next day. It took me 8 days, 8 days to get this necklace from Jamaica. I could have
From the
walked there and
borough
back.
next door.
I could have walked
That's
there and back.
crazy.
But
That's
I
crazy.
love it. It is absolutely beautiful, and I'm proudly wearing it now. As far as my Audacity earrings, those just shipped. Hopefully, they don't take the same trip that the necklace did, and I have them for Sunday's virtual book cruise. If not, I will be wearing my Phoenix one. But
I know that's right. I know
and I
that's
know you
right.
got yours on, but your hair is covering it and your denim because we're gonna talk about that next.
Yes, but like I said, it's the mic. The mic is covering it, but I got my
Mhm.
Audacity necklace on.
Yes,
My Audacity earrings are not big enough, so we gonna gift those to somebody. And I reordered larger one. This is standard for me. Okay, I can't do
those are like
little.
4. those are like
I
four
need
inches,
the
right?
3.8 4-inch earring. I can't do cutesy little mamas. No. So when them little cute little pumpkins came, I said, "Oh, we gonna gift these to a gym who wants to be audacious and wear some Audacity earrings." But the team ain't keeping these, so I'm replacing them. I need big, bold, loud, real extra.
Remember back in the days when because we LL Cool J bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. Where you would
Okay.
get the big one and then you get the next one, and then they would just like shrink in size up your ear.
The crawl. We used to call that the earring crawl. Yes, ma'am. We used to call that the earring crawl. I love them
Yes,
days. Oh,
yes. I
but
love
look,
me some shrimps.
I wanted to shout out our Instagramly, those who are live with us on Instagram. We see you. Thank you so much for joining. For whatever reason, me and Mel V got disconnected from StreamYard on our Facebook. So if someone wouldn't mind sharing the live from Tiffany's page to my page, any of my diamonds, I would greatly appreciate it. We just want to make sure we get full visibility and exposure, because this is our last Audacity focused episode, and we want to go out with a bang. We want to have a really good crowd in here, a really good audience. So if y'all could do that for me, please, and thank you. I so appreciate you. So Tiff, you have a topic for us tonight.
Girl, I've been grinding in the background for a week with this one, and it is absolutely so amazing. So today, April 30th, marks Denim Day. It is the last day of April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And so the Diamonds did denim today. And so I'm going to give a little history on Denim Day because it seems to be, even though this is over 20 years old, it seems to be a little new to people whenever I bring it up. So Denim Day stems from a case in the 1990s in the courts in Italy in which a young woman was sexually assaulted by her driver instructor. She went out with this man to for a driving lesson, and he ended up having her drive off to a desolate place where he assaulted her. He was
What?
eventually convicted, and then he turned around and appealed to the Italian Supreme Court, stating that the day that the assault took place, the victim was wearing very tight fitting jeans, and it would have been impossible for him to take the pants off of her without her assistance. And the Italian Supreme Court agreed and overturned his conviction.
In real life?
Yes, this really happened in Italy. And so this led to civil protests in the Italian parliament, in which all of the female members of parliament showed up one day dressed in denim. And this
Okay.
then led to a national day of advocacy against sexual assault and gender based violence. And so today I participated in New York City's Denim Day. We started down in Brooklyn by Borough Hall. There was a great turnout. We had young people stepping and singing and dancing, and there was this dope fashion show. When I show you the pictures, it was absolutely amazing. This was my first time attending the event. I customed up my own vest,
Nice.
some little cutesy stuff on there.
Okay.
Um, and I went with my job because we are a Black feminist organization. Of course, this is right up our alley. We were there with some young people who were selected to model in the fashion show. So it was absolutely amazing. And then after that, we walked across the Brooklyn Bridge, which was a beautiful day to walk across the bridge, by the way. And then there was a citywide rally down in Lower Manhattan. So it was an absolute beautiful day seeing all of the young people out there using their voices, amplifying their stories. And there was this one lady that I met. She is from an organization. I'm going to tell you right now who she is, but she got up and she spoke about her story of being violated as a young child and afraid to speak up. This was done by a family member, somebody who they trusted, and through the strength of God to finally speak up, she told her grandmother, and her grandmother believed her, and things were done and handled in that way. But I got
Mhm.
some facts and stats for it. I cannot find the young lady's name. I went and found her on Instagram. I thought it would be like one of the things that was still there. I got some facts and stats
Okay.
on this. All right. 1 in 3 women worldwide have been subjected to either physical or sexual intimate partner violence or non-partner sexual violence in their lifetime.
Mhm.
This is cited from the World Health Organization 2021.
Wow.
In the United States, over 81% of women and 43% of men have experienced some form of sexual harassment and or assault in their lifetime. This is
Wow.
cited from the National Sexual Violence Resource Center 2022. 1 in 5 women in the US experience completed or attempted rape in their lifetime. 1 in 5.
Some stats are insane.
And
It is.
then
Wow.
just to close it out, survivors of sexual assault and gender based violence often experience chronic mental health challenges, including PTSD, anxiety, depression, and many report feeling isolated and ashamed because of this, and they delay seeking help. And then
Mm,
this is the one that absolutely blew my mind. Only 25 out of 1,000 predators of sexual assault will end up in prison. 25. And then there is so much victim blaming, victim shaming. There's always about what she was wearing, how she was acting. She
mm,
said yes, then said no.
mm.
She said no.
Exactly.
And it's just an absolute shame. Oh, I'm lying. There was one other statistic that blew my mind. It said gender-based violence increases during times of crisis such as natural disasters, pandemics, and conflicts. It was reported that domestic violence cases increased by 300% during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Are you serious?
So imagine
Being
being in a
stuck at home.
situation where you live with your abuser, and the only um, solace that you have is either you going to work or them going to work, and now you're locked in with them 24/7, 365. So,
I'm speechless. I'm
and this
I
is why we have to do what we have to do, because there are so many people who are afraid to speak up, who are afraid of the consequences. There's so much tied into it, and
yeah,
we've got to give voices to the voiceless.
exactly.
And I thought this was an excellent campaign for the Diamond Riders to be a part of. Um, because if you have followed us along our journey over the past 5 years, if you've read any of the books over the last 5 years, you will know that there is at least one story in which one of the Diamonds shares their experience with this type of violation.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Cuzzo. It is a worthy cause. I mean, you're always affiliated, with causes that serve others and give voice to the voiceless, but I had no idea some of those statistics. It's wow. Nevertheless, I love what today represented. I love that you were able to go out there and not just represent your employer, but also the Diamond Writers. And you created such a dope video. If y'all have seen that on the socials, please share it. And let's spread the awareness so that next year we have an even greater turnout and even more diamonds marching and participating and advocating with Tiffany. But I'm blown. I'm still like stuck on this. Y'all know how I feel about data. Like I am stuck right there. But we
Yeah.
have a show to do, so I'm going to move past it. And if you could send me the articles
Mhm.
that you cited and referenced, I would love to go back and read them because those are disturbing numbers. And I think the thing that the Lord is healing me from is the desire to fix everything when I hear about it. Like I have got to heal from that. Like I'll hear about something and like, oh, I got to get involved. What do I do? How do I serve? Where do I send money? Where do I sign up? Where do I, what I'm saying? I have to like fight that impulse and that urge, but it doesn't mean I can't be aware and then spread
Mhm.
the awareness. So that is what I'm learning to do. Instead of trying to be front line, just get in line somewhere. So we are so grateful, Tiff, that you have a heart for this work and you have a heart for this type of ministry work, because that is ministry, to be able to hug and support and embrace those that have been wounded by other people's
Mhm.
decisions. Um, and I have so much I want to say, but I will wait until I've read these articles myself and then form an opinion because I'm feeling a little bit of rage and that ain't cute. So, anywho,
Girl, the rage is real. When it's because one of the things that I think is a misconception is that sexual violence is about sex, and it's not. It's about power and domineering and
Yep.
dominating someone,
Yep.
right? It has nothing to do with that. It is about someone exerting their power and authority over someone else's body.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly what it is. And not to go too deep into this topic, but I was actually reading an article.
There
Sorry.
you go.
I always laugh when I say
You
that.
don't get that on a t-shirt. I was reading an article.
I swear. I'm telling you this. I said this. I said I love reading articles. I hate reading emails. But I was reading an article, and the gentleman, he's a black literary scholar. I believe he teaches at Columbia, but he was talking about during enslavement, we had men who were often raped by, or sexually assaulted. Because again, I don't want YouTube cutting our show off, but they were they were victims of sexual assault, and it was really to emasculate them in front of their wives and other women on these plantations. And so when you think about that, like, you thank you, yep, that's what it's called. When you think about that, that's how you know it has nothing to do with sex, but has everything to do with dominating power over someone else, or you know what I'm saying, or we're going to move on, because I really have some things I want to say that's probably going to get this episode removed from YouTube. So again, Tiffany, thank you for
Yeah.
bringing this to our attention and bringing this to the forefront of some of the work that we do. We look forward to participating again next year and really showing up in droves.
Yes.
Thank you for taking up space, because that is tonight's topic: having the audacity, or audaciously taking up space. And that's exactly what you did out there today. So thank you, rocking your denim. We appreciate you very much. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce the topic, and I'm gonna take a couple of deep breaths so I can focus.
Oh, so more on the topic, audaciously taking up space. So we have seen um, men and women who are using their voices, using their platforms to do many things. We shined the light on some last week. Um, I think one of my favorite people right now who is audaciously taking up space is Representative Jasmine Crockett. My girl Jasmine just doesn't play. That is my girl. She is who I'm going to brunch with. It is I she and and we're not, because we're dealing with Jasmine. We know we're gonna go down some political holes right now.
Right.
Um, she posted a video today in which there were votes on giving that person the power and the authority to deport U.S. citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And my first question was, deport them where? Like, if I wanted to like split hairs and be like, undocumented individuals came into this country and they deport them back to their native land. We ain't sending the U.S. citizens. But beyond that, the comment was made: if you deport these U.S. citizens, you're going to be sending them to countries that they don't belong in, right?
Right.
They don't belong there.
Right.
Hello, Mr. Trump, how would you like it if another country decided to just dump their unwanted in your country?
Seriously. Like, seriously.
This man, this administration, it makes no sense to me. But I am happy that we have someone like Representative Crockett out there who is, with every ounce of breath that she has, audaciously taking up space in the halls, on the steps, wherever it needs to be, because this is just, it's stranger than fiction.
it it is okay. So I was reading an article from an interview from an interview with Representative Crockett, and she was saying, how racism is a mental illness, how it really needs to be diagnosed because there's something wrong with you when you convince yourself that the things that you're doing make sense and the things that you're doing are productive and the things that you're doing are to improve society or help people. That's number one. She said it literally needs to be considered mental illness. But here's what I really like that she challenged us. And I don't think she was trying to take a shot at Black and brown people because we will celebrate. And I love that for us. But she was pretty much saying how the DOJ's Civil Rights Division was dismantled. This means no federal oversight of civil rights violations, zero enforcement of fair housing laws, abandoned voting rights protection, halted hate crime prosecution, and police misconduct investigations immediately eliminated. Right? She goes on to say that they also eliminated the Minority Business Development Agency. If you don't know what that is, please Google it. We benefited from that as an organization, we as in TGI. But pretty much it eliminated, this program prior to its elimination facilitated 4.8 billion in federal contracts, supported 35,000 plus Black businesses, provided crucial capital access programs, and connected entrepreneurs to federal opportunities. So that's why we benefited from that, because we got some grants through that and things like that. And then, of course, we all know the day before yesterday, they begun removing Black resistance exhibits from the National Museum of African American History and Culture, right? So we had all of these things happen in less than 30 days. And what Representative Crockett said is, we cannot boots on the ground our way through this. And like, I died laughing because, again, I know she wasn't trying to be shady, but what she was trying to say is we need to pay attention because everything that I just said affects us. So I'm all for the fact that we have chosen to sit this fight out. I agree with that, but I love that what she's saying is the areas we can push back and the areas that we can enforce change, we should try. And so she was pretty much saying, I love that Black women have chosen to take their break, and we ain't doing it. But we ain't going to be able to fan dance our way out of some of the stuff that's happening. Like, some of this is eventually going to hit us and affect us, whether we show up to the marches or not. And so I'm in total agreement with her. I'm not saying we got to get out there and march. I ain't doing it, first of all. My knees are 43. I'm not marching. I'm not going outside. I'm not. But there are, I'm serious, but there are still things that we can do. We can show up at local meetings if you don't want to be a part of national marches. You can call your representative office, call your councilmen, get involved in other ways, apply pressure to your local and state and local government, because they're the ones that's taking your issues to the hill. So there's nothing wrong with doing some things here if you don't want to do things out there. And so anyway, I just love that she had the boldness to make that declaration and that statement, because she's taking up space and she can't do it by herself. She can't.
No.
So,
Right.
yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because while us us regular folks are like, oh yeah, we not showing up, Jasmine is showing up, right?
Yep.
She does not have the privilege and the opportunity to, like, yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out, right?
Exactly. Right.
She just does it, because if not her, then who?
Right.
Because we all say 1, 2, 3, not it.
Right. Right.
Like, literally like that. Now for me, I can't sit here 10 minutes ago and tell y'all that I was out here at a rally and I walked across the Brooklyn Bridge and be like, I can't be out here protesting, I can't be out here marching. I just did. I'm gonna just say that there are other ways to do it. I was sitting in the subway the other day, minding my business, and this gentleman came up to me with a clipboard, and I ran like, "Oh Lord!" And it was like, "Do you want to take a survey?" No. He said, "Are you a registered voter in the state of New York?" Why, yes, I am. He says, um, "Would you vote to have Andrew Cuomo as the mayor. And I'm gonna say up until about a couple of weeks ago, I would have been, yeah, absolutely. But then, I learned some stuff about how things that he did in his administration have now impacted me. One of them being the housing, like some of the difficulties in housing that we experience, particularly here in New York City, have to do with some of the deals that Andrew made when he was the governor of New York.
Yeah.
So I said, no. They said, well, we're looking for people to sign this petition so that we can get Eric Adams on the ballot as an independent. And I laughed. He said, I'm not saying we want to get him elected, but we just want to make sure that he's on the ballot as an independent so that he can take away votes from Andrew's base. And I said, I wouldn't vote for either one of them. At this point in time, I wouldn't vote for either one of them. At this point in time, I mean, we're putting Muppets in office. Elmo can be the mayor of New York City.
Seriously. Seriously. I mean, Thanos is the president. So
Elmo can be a
at this point, let's just come on. Like let's just and it's anyway, we like we promised, we won't go down a rabbit hole about politics, but we did want to acknowledge the continuous work that Representative Crockett is doing. She is carrying a major burden on her because it seems like everyone else is comfortable with the way things are going. But she still has fight in her. And I love that for her. And I love that for those that she's called to serve there in Texas. And hopefully it'll eventually have widespread and reach other leaders in her same position to start speaking up. But if you're just joining us, we see you in the comments. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Tonight, we're talking about audaciously taking up space. Tiffany, the Fionix took up space today at, say the title again for me, Cuzzo.
Denim Day NYC.
Denim Day NYC, representing herself, her employer, and the Diamond Riders. And we are so grateful for that. And then we just had a brief conversation about how Representative Crockett continues to take up space and take over mics. Okay. Because she be letting these people have it. And we love that. Really quickly, we want to acknowledge some of you here with us. Hi, Christina. She says, Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, beautiful. Bernadette says, Hello, Diamonds. Hello, Diamond. Good to see you. We are so glad you're here. Thank you for tagging people, Bernie. We see that.
Yeah.
Hey, Shell Mac. Hope you're feeling better. Good to see you, beautiful. Daisha, hey Di. She says you need the ones I have. You got big hoops. Send them to me. I'm gonna come get them. Actually, you ain't that far. Danielle is in the building. She says, Hey, ladies. Hey, Danielle. Hi, Lady J.A. Good to see you. Hi, Ivory. She says, Nice, so dope. Not sure what that was a compliment to, but we appreciate you, whatever you was referring to. Oh, Mama O is here. She says, Good evening, Diamonds. Good evening. And then Sweets Rights is in the building, all new and in love. We love it for you. She says, Hey, ladies. Hey. Hey, ladies. Hey, listen. So, look, it's not too late. We're only at the halfway point. It's still enough time for you to tag someone that you think would appreciate the conversation on audaciously taking up space. We also have some things we're going to be sharing later in the show that you don't want to miss. So, go ahead and tag a couple of people and share this live if you have not already. Go ahead, Fionix.
Okay, so we're gonna hide that one. So up next, we're gonna talk about some young people who are audaciously taking up space. So I know you were reading an article,
Yes.
and there were a couple of young ladies who sparked your interest that you wanted to shine some light on to be able to give them their flowers. So who we got up first?
Yeah, so up first is Mackenzie Thompson. She is a young woman of color here in Atlanta. She is a attendee at a student at Westlake High School. She was accepted into nearly 50 colleges and universities, including Tuskegee University, and was offered over $1.3 million in scholarships. And with tomorrow being
Decision Day.
I thought this was appropriate this was an appropriate person to acknowledge in terms of her taking up space. But then we have another one. We have another Georgia teen. Come on, Georgia. I love that. His name is Chase Matthews, and he received 155 college and university acceptance letters and over $6 million in scholarships.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is how you take up space. This is how you make ancestors proud. And I'm not saying it's the only way. So for those of you who are like, all right, I ain't go to college, I'm still special. Yes, you are. You are. However, when you consider where we've come from and the times where it was against the law to learn to read and write and to be educated or even attempt to attend school. And then you think about when we were permitted to go to school and how our schools were underfunded, due to segregation, our schools being underfunded. And then when they did begin to desegregate schools, what that was like for a lot of our students. And so to see these scholars making the strides and the achievements that they have taken limits off of themselves. Because I remember when I applied to college, my mother was like, play it safe, apply to 3, because $25 per application fee is a lot of money, right? Go ahead and apply to 3, and then better be the 3 you want to go to. And so that is pretty much how I approached my academic career at the collegiate level. And so even before I really had an opportunity, there were already limits placed on me because of my mother's, economic status and because of some of her lack and her fear, right? A lot of that was fear. So when you see young people like this going after it all, now there's no way he's going to attend all of them schools, but the fact that he has that many choices, we love that. We absolutely love that. So congratulations to Chase Matthews and Mackenzie Thompson. We see you audaciously taking up space, and we are proud. We are really, really proud, and we clap it up for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. You're amazing. We're
Yeah.
so happy for them. That's super dope.
You
Yeah.
know, we sure are proud of them. And as a mom who has a high school junior, and we've actually been discussing her college career since she was 8 years old. So there was a seed planted when she was 8. She joined a community organization where she was taking up major advance,
Mhm.
and she said, I want to do this. And then they started, they attended a couple of different like homecomings of some HBCUs, and she was like, I want to do this there. And
Yeah.
so at 8 years old, she declared that she was going to attend an HBCU,
Mhm.
which I am all for, because she would be the first HBCU grad in my family, and I'd be so proud to have that tag on my branch of the family tree. But what I'm learning is there's some strategy to this, right? So
Mhm.
when I applied for college, each time I applied for college, I applied 3 times, right? I applied when I was in high school, and I think I did like only the CUNY and SUNY application. I'm lying. I applied to college 4 times. CUNY and SUNY applications.
Mhm.
And the crazy thing is, and maybe it's not so crazy, is that if you graduate from a New York City public high school, you are automatically granted admission into at least one CUNY college university. So you
Right.
fill out the CUNY application, you just check off the schools that you want. You fill out the SUNY application, you check off the schools that you want it, you want to go to. So CUNY and SUNY here in New York, they have a common application. Everything else, when it comes down to like all of the private schools and universities, each one of those is, as you were referring to, it's like
To
$25
fit.
an application fee and all this other stuff. Now there are a lot more common apps where you can apply to multiple schools. So one of the ones that we already know that Jade is going to apply for is going to be the HBCU Common App. And I think on there you can apply to up to 20 HBCUs.
Wow.
In
That's good.
doing this mass applying, it is a very strategic move. It's not a, oh, I don't know where I want to go and what it is that where I want to be. It's actually a strategic move because the more other schools are interested in you, the more other schools want you. It's like when you're dating, right? When you are single, your phone be dry. Start dating somebody. Start showing interest and some stability in somebody. Here come all the creepy crawlers out the woodwork from around the way, back in the day. Nobody wants what somebody else doesn't want. But as soon as somebody else wants it, everybody wants it. And it applies with colleges and universities too. Because at the end of the day, even though they're nonprofits or whatever it is, they are still a business. And
Yeah.
their business is about students. Their business is people,
Right.
right? So it is a very strategic move to apply to 50 to 100 schools. And again, with the laws of ratio and all that other stuff, you apply to 100, you get in 70. You apply to 50, you get in 35. And then the choice is yours because then once it's known that you got into 50 schools, and the schools want you, that's when the money starts coming
Yeah.
in because they want you. So we have been, like I said, since Jade was 8 years old and she made the decision that she wanted to do, Jade has been building out her brand. Like I didn't even know that was a thing, but her
Mhm.
student brand.
Yep.
So for those of you who are listening and you have junior high school and early high school students, it is very important for them to start building their brand. What are they doing in the community? What organizations are they attached to? What school activities do they participate in? Everything counts.
It all
And
matters.
when
Yeah.
you sit down and you fill out these applications, whether it's a common application or it's the individual ones, and you got to write that statement letter. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
it's competitive out there,
Yeah.
and the bare minimum is not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Shoot, and go for big.
Yeah.
So
But again, I think what's really dope is that this generation of students have those options because we're not that far removed from those who didn't.
no,
And so when you think about that from a generational progression standpoint, or you think about that from, that pride that great grandparents probably have looking at like, wow, I couldn't get into those schools. I couldn't afford those schools. There was no money offered to me. I love that aspect of it. Like I love being able to tell my 8-year-old, look at this girl who lives right here in the same state that you live in, get accepted to over 50 schools. There's technically, it looks limitless, and that's something that we want our children to believe, that they're going to have more options than we had. And so I think it starts with something like where they get to go to school, where they get to be educated, and being able to choose the path that they want. I absolutely love that. And so in that same vein, I was reading an article and I came across Dr. Alexandra, I believe it's pronounced Bastiani. She's the first Black woman to become an interventional cardiologist in Canada. She's an advocate for diversity in medicine and works at the Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Center. This is major. And a lot of people, who may have seen it on social media, is probably like, oh, okay, it's not a big deal. We have other Black doctors. But for her to be the first to achieve something like this I mean, again, it ain't the US, it's a win for Canada, but my point is, it's still a win for us, okay? Because she is a woman of color and we are super excited for her. And so, anyway, I was just reading a little bit more about her background. And she was saying that she's referred to as a trailblazer who turned her childhood dream into a powerful reality, and that she was dedicated to working at this goal for over 15 years. And the reason I wanted to add her to my list of women and men who are audaciously taking up space is because I really wanted to emphasize how some of our goals take time. Some of
Mm-hmm.
the things that we want in life are not going to happen right away. And we have to be resilient enough, and we have to be dedicated to what we believe we're capable of long enough to see it through. There are so many people who started a goal last year, and because it didn't happen by December, because they planned for it in January, they gave up on it and started a whole new list. Sometimes it's okay to carry some of those dreams over year to year. I know we live in a culture that tells us that you got to make things happen now, and you got to secure the bag now, and you have to make your dreams a reality now, and you have to manifest what you waiting on now. That's not true. There are some things that are going to take time, because some things can only be sustained when it's been built slowly. So if you believe that you can build something overnight, that is some houses in my neighborhood I would never live in, because I saw how fast y'all put them up. I don't
Mm-hmm.
I don't want nothing that went that fast. I don't want microwave success, because microwave success is not sustainable. I call it YouTube success now, because everybody get a viral video and all of a sudden they this new overnight sensation. But guess what? When you're no longer the it thing, that brand that was paying you, those followers that were following you will move on. But when you've built something based on your own, like your own belief, that is what you're called to do, nothing is going to be able to shake that. And so I applaud her. It said it took her 15 years of hard work to get there. 15 years. Now, if y'all know anything about medical school, and you think about all the academia that she has to achieve before medical school, this woman been doing this for a long time. A
Yeah.
time. And so I applaud her and her continuous pursuit and her passion in medicine, because it caused her to stay focused on what she wanted. And so that's really my gem for tonight. I ain't finna lie about it. That's what I wanted to share with someone, because I look at people get discouraged when they don't see the things that they want happening. We are on book number 5 and we still only got 500 followers. We have helped more close to 50 women in these last 5 years, and yet we can't seem to get people to share our posts for us. People who have been in the community, people who wanted to be. But you know what? I know what God told me I'm supposed to do in this space. Nothing is going to shake that. Nothing. No amount of time, no rejection, no failure. Nothing is going to shake me from saying I heard what God said he was going to do with the Diamond Writers. I'm going to wait it out. So 5 years from now, Tiffany and I will be sitting right here telling you we on book number 10, we on member number 321, and we still at it. And we are still showing up, and we are still serving and still praying and still pouring and still believing and still edifying and encouraging, because that's what I'm supposed to do. So if it takes me 15 years, if it takes me 31 years, guess what? I'm going to keep at it. So I hope that that encourages somebody tonight. Stick with it. Stick with it. Get your
Mm-hmm.
wickedness. Is that a word? I can make that up.
It is now. Stick with it. Yes. Let me.
Get you.
I
All
was.
right, I'm
I
sorry. Go
was
ahead.
thinking about how I can't spell. I'm gonna see if I can spell that one.
Do
Stick
not try to spell it.
withedness.
You know what? You know what?
You
Well,
know,
listen,
one of the things that.
go ahead.
Mhm.
No, I was gonna
No,
say, I
I'm
know
just
you want to
saying.
add to that, so go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that I was thinking was like, at what point in time do we stop hearing that this is the first time that something has happened, right? You know, I love when it happens, but it's like, wow, it just now happened. She's the first person that okay, and I'm not from Canada. I've never been to Canada. Um, but Canada, I think, is older than the United States or around that time, and they still having first. Um, I'm really stumped on that. Like, at what point in time do we stop saying that this is the first Black woman? This is the first um Latinx man. This is the first whatever. When do we stop saying that? When does that stop being how we give someone their accolades? Like, why can't they just have done it
Right.
because this is what is the norm. But anyway, I digress.
We'll get there. Hopefully we'll get there.
I
We
want
will.
us I want us to do an episode, and I wrote it down on people, because they always do like 30 under 30, 30 people who made it before they were 30. What if we did a whole thing on people who didn't make it until after they were past whatever people think is prime? Like
Mhm.
40 people who did it after 40,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because it is so true. We live in this instant microwave society where nobody wants to wait for anything. I mean, hell, they don't want to wait for popcorn. They don't want to. That's why we have air fryers now, because people don't want to really stand in the kitchen and fry chicken. They just put it in the air fryer. Yeah, it's a little healthier, but it also cooks it quicker.
Yeah.
Everything like instant, 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 and it teaches. It doesn't teach, rather, the time, skill, and patience it takes to cultivate something.
Exactly.
And with
Exactly.
cultivation comes appreciation,
Yep.
because you know the time it took for you to toil and get to this
Yep.
thing, right? If we just
Yep.
if we just took seeds and we planted them on Sunday and we had crop on Saturday, it would be that would be taken for granted.
Yep.
Everything
Yep.
is just taken for granted. Nobody
Yep.
wants to do the work. Everybody wants the glory and the accolades, but the work, yeah, well, well,
Exactly. And we don't even understand that those are opportunities to build character. Those are opportunities to gain wisdom. And that is what helps us to sustain what we've built, wisdom and character. All that other stuff, all of that fame and all that trend, that stuff fades. But what keeps us sustained, when I look at people like, I'll just pick on Mary. Mary J. Blige's been around a long time. She's been singing a long time, right? And one thing that she's never tried to do was appeal to a fan base that she didn't start with. She has always stuck with us because we've been there from day one. So she ain't out here trying to, you know what I'm saying, get some of Beyonce's fan base or get some. She knows her lane. I'm a whole grown woman and I'm still singing to grown women. So those of us who was with her during Real Love, we still with her during, what is it? Hello, Beautiful.
good
That is
morning, gorgeous.
okay. Good morning, gorgeous. Hello, beautiful. Good morning, gorgeous. You know what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I love that she understands the benefit of consistency because you can sustain that. People who are out here trying, I want to do this now. Now I want to do that. None of that's gonna last. Every day you got a new LLC. Every day you got a new business you doing. Everything that you do well one time, you now trying to create a whole business behind it. You have not invested and persevered through what you've already started. And that's why it's not going to last. So that's all I wanted to say about that. So look, Cuzzo, I know we got 5 minutes left. You trying to drop a gem. We got to
I'm,
remind them about Sunday.
I'm laughing right now, right? Because every week, or I try to, after I create the episodes, I send out the links to people and text messages and group chats and everything like that. So
Uh-huh.
I sent it this afternoon, and I sent it in the chat between my husband and I and my brothers and their wives. And so I said in the, like, I didn't really think my brothers would show up or whatever. This was mainly for them. Look at this here.
Oh,
Here
hello.
goes my brother. My brother Tyrone. Like, look, I'm here. Thank you, Tyrone, for showing up. Thank you for
He made
supporting.
it. He's like, I made it. That's what matters.
Yeah, yeah, right. Sliding in safe. I made it before
Exactly.
9 o'clock. So thank you,
It's the
family,
11th hour.
for supporting. I greatly appreciate the view. We greatly appreciate the view. So
Absolutely.
it is time for us. Do you want to do the gem or you want to do the merch?
Let's do your gym first because I've already dropped mine and I want to make sure we give you time to drop your gym for the people.
All right, so I'm not doing the little thingy here. We don't have an engineer tonight. My gem for tonight: audaciously taking up space. As somebody who's been told that I'm too much, too loud, too all these things here, and then try to make myself small,
Mm,
try to make myself a little duller. I wasn't happy there, right?
mm,
The more I embrace who I am as a person, as this spirit living this in this earthly plane right now, the happier I get. So my gem for you is stop trying to conform. Conformity does not work. Conformity is not for you. When we were babies, or we teach babies, you give them the little block thing and then it has the shapes on it, and it's teaching them dexterity but also like the shapes.
mhm.
Both a circle and an oval are rounded, but the circle won't fit in the oval and the oval won't fit in the circle.
Come
So
on.
stop trying to be something that you're not. Just go ahead, be you, be great, be audacious in what it is that you're doing, and it will pay off. The happiness comes in audacity.
We love that. Thank you,
Yes,
Cuzzo. Like that is so true. That is so true. Like the payoff comes with the longevity and the sacrifice. I love that. I needed
yeah,
that. Yeah. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. Before we get out your way, we do have a couple of reminders. On Sunday, you can meet us right here, this same platform, but at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. as we celebrate the release of Audacity, and we celebrate all of the contributing authors and all of our diamonds who have taken up space in this publication. We are so happy for them. So make sure that you invite someone, that you tag someone, that you tell a friend to tell a gem. We're going to be here on Sunday, and we purposely made sure we wasn't interfering with Mother's Day. So this Sunday free, okay? Y'all should be here at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to meet our contributing authors and our diamonds. We got a lot of merch for y'all. We took this book as a challenge to encourage women to live a more audacious life. So we want this, not only this book in all of your homes, we want extra stuff all up and through your house, your job, your sister group, your group chat. Like bring us to the group chat, okay? So of course we got the book in hardcover. We also got it in paperback. I believe the Phoenix has already held that up for y'all. I will hold it up again. So it comes in as well as an ebook this way. Sorry. So we have it in both paperback and hardcover, available on Amazon, diamondwriters.com, and transparentgemming.com. But we also have some other merch for you. So we got a journal notebook. Okay, sorry about that. We have the Diamond Writers Audacity Journal. It is a 21-day journal to a God-centered, colorful life. So you want to go ahead and get this. It's beautiful. I already started mine. She pretty. I be in here writing, like it's really nice. It's really, really beautiful. So that you can take advantage of that. We also have the Audacity Planner, where you can put all of your audacious plans, all of your goals, all of your tasks for the week. It is 80 pages of pure audacity. Okay. So y'all go ahead and get that. We have a couple of other things. We have notebooks, we have necklaces, we have a bunch of merch. So make sure that you visit diamondwriters.com or transparentgeminc.com and check out a lot of that branded merch that is on theme and on trend with the release of Audacity. We're super excited about it. That's all I
I'm
got.
just saying, since we shamelessly plug in Mother's Day, that you now have time to order your Mother's Day Audacity bundle.
Seriously. Seriously, get you your whole Audacity bundle. And this is really, honestly, a lot of our merch are for writers, those who want to become writers, those that are looking to begin writing their own narratives and telling their story. These are really great tools to help you with the start of that, with the genesis of that. So we know that we cater to a subset of women who use journaling as an outlet and a place for release. We got plenty of pages for y'all. Like, look, we got the big notebook available. Okay, just a bunch of college rule lines for you to go crazy. So we have a little bit of everything for the women who are in this space. So yeah.
I'm gonna need that one because the one that I have now, where all of the planning for the podcast, the morning prayers, the notes that I take during these episodes, all go into a journal. Every year I start one, so we're not even through with the year, and I'm gonna need another journal. So I'm gonna need me that one right there.
All of our Audacity journals, planners, notebooks, they all come with a free Audacity inspired diamond pen. Look at them colors. They match the cover perfectly. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yes. So look, get you one. Okay.
Coordination.
Y'all know, listen, y'all know who I am. Listen, you know. And then, like I said, don't forget, we also have the Audacity necklace. Can y'all see? Can you see it? Audacity. We have it in silver and in gold, available on the website. I could be on Home Shopping Network. I really could. I could so do this. All right. That's all I had, Cuzzo.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us for the month of April, for Audacious April, as we have spent 5 weeks speaking on Audacity, audaciously living, low vibration, low audaciousness, high vibration audaciousness, people who are out here audaciously living their lives and changing the communities. And so we will be following up next month with May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we'll be coming through with some great shows, some great topics for you. And we really want to thank you all for joining us on this journey. So that's it for tonight. I think that's it.
Hope to see you Sunday.
Who pressing the button? You gonna press it?
I got you tonight. Yes.
You got it? Okay, because you know me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Until next time, y'all continue to hustle and shine. Good night.
Let's go.